Well, hello, hello. Give everybody a chance to get here. I think big clue, what was it, about 30 minutes ago, I said I'll be going live in 10, and it turned out a little longer, balancing some work-life situations here, but do have some time to get another game done for 4-7. I think I'm going to take the game that I'm not involved in, leave that for maybe Beatles to do later, and let's see what I've got going on to this game here. Loaded in the one that MV did today. As we can see here, he did one earlier. It was quite a slugfest. Jersey beat Mudville 15-4. So I did the Badlands Lexington game earlier. Um, Detroit's my team, so we'll save that for somebody else. And I've got Pete Alexander against Clayton Kershaw, which could be a great matchup. Got Salt Lake in the system here, and got the manager file this time for Utah Mike. And I've got, I'll probably control the JT Dutch team. Not sure if we've heard from JT Dutch, if he's been on any of the communication or any of the broadcasts. I haven't seen him yet or noticed it. It's be a fun game while I've got some time to get in. Let everybody know I'm. Is it live or Memorex? I've got JT Dutch does not have a designated ballpark. They're still playing neutral park, so I did want to neutral park. Let's go for. I think I'm going to take. It was Comiskey 2. Maybe go with Comiskey in 1927 just to give the neutral park a little bit of a look. So I got somebody showing up here. Odds are it might be Big Clue. Don't know who else in line. Oh, it's Beatles. Beatles. It's about time. Yeah, I'm notorious for that. And you know what? The sad thing, Beatles, is I'm balancing real work sometimes here, family and all that. Sometimes I have a great plan that's going to happen in 10 minutes and I get sidetracked. So, Beatles, I'm leaving this great game for you to do later and then moving on into the next day 4-8 if you want to do any of those. But I figured, hey, I'll crank out this fun game right here. Oh, here we are on the 7th. And save this wonderful one. I've got Koufax going against Verlander. Hope I have better luck for you or MV to handle. And I'm going to select this game right here. Let's get this game underway. I was able to locate Utah Mike's manager file. I have that uploaded in here. So let's take a look here. I'm going to play, since we're in a neutral park, the photo is just for my visual liking. But let's load. What does the computer say? Pete Alexander. And the computer says Kershaw. And let's see, one over the limit. Yes, I think we need that. So let's say what we get here. And is that any different if we do the lineup versus left for the Bees? Nope, there it is. So here's the lineup going against the left-handed Kershaw. And let's take a look at the opponent. I think we're good here. Going against the right-handed Pete Alexander. So this ought to be a good game. JT Dutch is 1 over. I was trying to get this team to where, let's take a look what pitchers we have. Maybe it's a batter we could sit down. One extra batter for him. Hand line. Maybe it's a pitcher. Let's just send down a pitcher with the highest whip, and that would be Juan Padron. We'll make him active, so now we're legal. And let's get on with it. So welcome to Neutral Park, but we've got Salt Lake against JT Dutch and the Dutches. Old Pete Alexander gets the start, first start of the year. Clayton Kershaw, first start of the year for JT Dutch. 65-degree day. For visuals, I decided to pull up one of the parks that I've been experimenting with, and I believe this is 1927 or in the 30s, Comiskey. I also have another option. Let's see what this one is. Oh, try this one. Ah, here's another Comiskey we've got. So I think I'm going to go with this one. Should have the markers all set up ready to go. And I'm going to set the options, the preferences over here to computer for Utah Mike, and I'm going to human control JT Dutch. So Beatles, it's just me and you. Oh, we've got Aaron Reed's here. Hulkamania needs to run wild on the visiting team. I'd pay to be able to hear Aaron Reed give us a big, since he's a wrestling fan, a big woo, one of those Ric Flair when he does those woo-offs. If you've never seen those on YouTube, they're hysterical. So welcome, Aaron. Aaron's here. Beatles is here. So, oh yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. DJ LeMahieu leading off for the Salt Lake Bees. Fun team to watch today because we've got, you know, it's funny, Beatles, you're going to hear this. I think I still have some kind of music attached to Gibson, but it only plays for the home team. So I'm trying to remember who I was experimenting with walk-up music, but it might be DiMaggio because it'll only do it for the home team. So I think he's got country music attached to him. We'll find out. So here's the pitch from Clayton Kershaw. And LeMahieu, don't know if this is going to stay fair. Ed Ryle, the first baseman, making a stab at it. And I think he's going to have room, makes the play in foul territory. We've got one away. Ugh, country music. Yeah, I was testing out all those different files, so. Kiki Kyler. Great player for Pittsburgh and the Cubs. Happen to be using a Pittsburgh gear for him, so we've got a Pittsburgh photo. Here's Kyler. Sends this one deep out to center. DiMaggio makes the catch, and he's out. So let me just stop and pause and say, I was able to do a game earlier. Beatles last night. MV did one midday. I'm doing one here. So if we stop and think that all of this started last year when I stumbled across the Ned McGreevy League draft that was being broadcast by Beatles into a live session, and now I just want to notice that he has inspired others to take this on. So here I am in a league with him broadcasting a game. Others have joined in this league, and we've got MV broadcasting. So instead of Beatles having to carry all that load, he's been nice enough to share, and then we can take a group approach and just tap into the engagement in a great draft league like this. So here's Josh Gibson facing Kershaw. Gibson puts this on the ground to Lyons, the third baseman. And, Gibson not known for his speed, but he lays down a little speed and beats it out. Oh, yeah, Aaron, your team, they were on fire today. They played great. And here's Mickey Mantle. That'd have been a great lineup to have, right? Gibson followed by Mantle. Can you imagine Gibson with that kind of protection behind him, the pitches he would have seen? So here's Kershaw. He's throwing over, worried about Gibson stealing. Mantle hits this one out into left field. Hart drifting back, and he will make the catch. That will end the inning, so one hit, no runs. And leading off the inning will be Denny Lyons, third baseman for the Dutches. Ground ball to Martin DeHigo, who's manning third base today, and he throws it across the diamond for the out to Rudy York. One away. Up steps Turkey Mike Donlin. Take a look at Donlin's card. Turkey Mike, 1908 version from the Polo Grounds for the Giants. 162 OPS. It's pretty darn good. Infield coming in at the corners. Interesting. And he's a bunt 8. Maybe that's why. It's a grounder to Cecil Travis. Short. Is it in time? Barely. Gets him by a step.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up.
I may have to find some new music for DiMaggio. You know, the other thing I could do to have some fun on my broadcast is maybe, since we've got some of these all-time greats, maybe I could just, when I get some free time, because you don't have a lot of that, I could, we've got the nice pictures and all this stuff, start looking for some more fun with walk-up music. So maybe I could keep it fresh, and you just never know in my broadcast what that home team's walk-up music might be. Oh, there's going to be some Aaron Reed versus Beatles, for sure. So there we go. DiMaggio. Travis ranges over, gets the ball, fires it over, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. So we got one in the books. 0-0 ball game. And other than the one MV did a little bit earlier, where it was just a blowout, all the games have been really competitive. Even the one, Aaron, that your team won, it was 8-4, and the bases were loaded with 2 out in the bottom of the ninth, and the tying run at the plate, and so it even had some drama for an 8-4 ball game. So it was fun. So Kershaw on the mound. Here's Felix Mantilla, batting right-handed, and he sends a single past Lyons into left field, and he's aboard with a hit. Rudy York, strong bat with 33 home runs, steps in. Kershaw with the pitch. York hits it. Going back deep. DiMaggio back in deep center makes the catch. Mantilla will retreat to first. 1 away. A player that I've really grown to appreciate in doing some of the Negro League research is Martin Dihigo, because not only is he a great hitter, but look at the all-around. Let's get in here and take a look at Martin Dihigo. See it right here. Pull his card up. And you can see here, good power, can hit for average, and this is what makes him so valuable. He can pitch and play every position well, except catcher. So this was a great pickup in the Negro League. We had 2 rounds of Negro League drafts for our all-time great teams, and this was a big pickup, in my opinion. I'd love to have him on my team. And he strikes out. So I spent all that time building him up just for that big letdown. But we've got 2 away for Cecil Travis, the shortstop. And he lines one into right field. He's aboard with a hit, and it looks like Mantilla is able to take third. And now we've got runners at the corners for Baby Doll Jacobson. Be interesting to know. I don't have this answer. Maybe one of our viewers will call in. I'm more familiar with Baby Doll, or our experts on the line, but based on the 1924 season for the St. Louis Browns, wonder where he got the name Baby Doll from. I don't know. Here's the pitch from Kershaw, and Baby Doll sends one out into left field. Jim Ray Hart playing left. Looks like he makes the catch. He does. Great to know you got a chance to listen to that, Aaron. But yeah, I think I'm going to have some fun with the walk-up music maybe later tonight if I got some time to come in here and play around with some more bells, whistles, and dressing the game up. Here is Pete Alexander. Makes the play himself on the ground ball from Cano, tosses it to first in time for the first out. Now let's look at Pete Alexander. I think for a starting pitcher, he may just by a hair have the lowest whip at .842 for a starter. He can go 42 games. This might be one of the best lines. The only person that could have probably beat this, I think my Bob Gibson is fairly close, but the only one that could have beat this, and he didn't get drafted because his year and the timing was never there, would have been the great Walter Johnson. Oh, there you go. So Beatles got us that answer. So thanks. We've learned a little bit about Baby Doll because not only is this league fun, it's also educational. Chuck Knobloch getting the start today at DH. We look at him, you can see why. Against lefties, he hits 388. So no wonder Knobloch is in there. Here's the pitch, and Knobloch with the strikeout. Then I just realized he's not even facing a lefty. I've got things backwards, so nice call, Steve. Here's Ed Ryle. Strikes out. So that ends the inning. 2 in the books. We got a 0-0 game. Not a lot of action. Salt Lake's put 3 hits out there, but can't get a run across the plate. And here's DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu walks. Kiki Kyler stepping in against Clayton Kershaw. Kyler sends this out to right field. Perky Mike gets it in time. Keeps LeMahieu from taking third, but we've got runners at first and second. No out. And Josh Gibson up, who singled his last time at the plate. No runs batted in yet this season for Josh. And here's a well-hit ball. Looks like it's going back. Hart's going to make the catch. Runners tag. LeMahieu makes it to third without a throw. We've got runners at the corner. 1 out. Here's the pitch to Mantle. Mantle sends this one deep. Probably deep enough to get this run home. DiMaggio tracks it over, makes the catch, and throws to LeMahieu. And what happened? He's under it, makes the catch. LeMahieu held at third. Boy, that's a lot of respect for the game. Thank you, Bernard. It is a... where did I get this? I forget where I got it, and you can see the labeling's kind of muddled out there because I ran it through the gigapixel enhancer just to get some better clarity on it. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's a fun one we're using today for JT Dutch's team. Since they're in a neutral park, we can kind of throw a new visual up here just to be entertained. So here is Felix Mantilla. Sends this one, it's like it's headed foul. Hart giving chase. And it makes it into the stands. So we've got a 2-2 count. Pitch from Kershaw. This one's hit out to center. DiMaggio looks like he's tracking it down. He makes the catch. So interestingly enough, that LeMahieu held at third base, didn't want to test the arm of DiMaggio, and we still got a 0-0 game. Headed to the bottom of the third here with Jim Ray Hart. Jim Ray Hart in the 60s, member of the San Francisco Giants, and we can take a look. It's based on his 1967 season. Here's the pitch from Pete Alexander. Hart pops it up in the infield. Dramatic high fly pop up. It's going to come down sometime. It's like Travis is making the call for it. And he's out. Gary Carter got injured yesterday on opening day, or 2 days ago, I guess, on the 5th. He's back in there. It was a minor injury. It's the only injury I think that we've had in the season when I went back to the injury report, and he was just out for that game. So he's healthy and back in the lineup here today. Grounds that to LeMahieu. He is over to York in time, and it's 2 away. This is the shortstop for the Dutches, Brandon Crawford. And he sends that up the middle past LeMahieu into center, and he's aboard with the first hit of the game for the JT Dutches. Bringing up the top of the lineup and Denny Lyons. Looked like Crawford was moving with 2 out, and the line shot handled easily by LeMahieu. And that's after 3. We still have that 0-0 tie. Rudy York stepping in. York sends this one out off the wall. Looks like a poor play. Hart's going to get that ball over to third base, but York's in the second with a stand-up double. So got the leadoff runner on board, something you always like to do. And that brings up Martin Dihigo. Here's the pitch. Dihigo up the middle. I don't know if this is going to score York. He won't run. Not great speed with York, and he held up at third. So we got no out. Runners on the corners. And Cecil Travis steps in. Let's take a peek at Cecil. Or Cecil. I'm not sure how he pronounces it. (1941) version for the Senators here. Always fun to look at the card once the replay game's underway, because you can track, compared to what they did in real life, all of these great statistics. Day, road, night, all of the hit streaks. It'll just be fun to be able to dig into this as we're doing some of these broadcasts. So here's Travis stepping in. Sends a liner over. Easy play for Lions. He snags it. And here we go now with one out. And Baby Doll stepping to the plate. Sends this fly out to right field. Turkey Mike has got it. Could have a tag here. Looks like York is going to be able to get home without a throw, and we've got a 1-0 ball game in favor of Salt Lake, the visiting team. Here's Kershaw pitching to LeMahieu. LeMahieu sends this one out. It's like DiMaggio has it. Oh, no, it's misplayed off the wall. Dihigo comes around to score, and LeMahieu is into second with a double. That one bounced off the wall, and it's a 2-0 game in favor of the Bees. Here's Kiki Kyler. He has flown out and had a single his last at-bat. Gets this one down the line. Looks like it's headed foul. Don't know if there's enough room. And Hart makes the catch. Looks like he was right in the second row over there in the bleachers. Makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. After 3.5, Salt Lake jumps out to a 2-0 lead. And Turkey Mike Donlin steps to the plate. Donlin hits this one out to center. A lot of balls out to center today. Mantle tracking back out on the warning track and makes the catch.
Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up.
DiMaggio's walk-up music. That could change in the future, but here's Pete Alexander, been pitching a great game today. DiMaggio lines a single into right. So we got one aboard. Second baseman Robinson Cano. We'll take a look at his card based on the 2012 version. Gold Glove second baseman and a strong left-handed bat. So here's Pete Alexander. Cano puts this on the ground. Travis makes the play. LeMahieu's got the first out over to York, and they turn the double play. No runs, one hit, no errors, and we've got 4 in the books. 2-0, Salt Lake. Here's Josh Gibson. He's singled and flown out. Gibson hits this one out to center, and that's over the head of DiMaggio. It's gone. So there's a guy with a ton of power potential in this league, and we'll see how that fares out. Who could be the home run champ with this league of greats? And Josh Gibson's name is in the running for that, no doubt. First home run of the year for Gibson, and we got a 3-0 game. Kershaw sends this one to Mantle. Mantle. Ooh, looks like Lions picks up that little grounder with a web gem play and gets it over in time to beat the hustling Mickey Mantle. 1 away. Felix Mantilla, he's DHing today. Learn a little something about him. 1964 Boston version. Mantilla's a great guy to have on your team because he can play multiple positions. Pretty much a nice value add to any team. Here's the pitch from Kershaw. And Mantilla sends this one out into right field, and he's aboard. So 1 on for Rudy York. Rudy York doubled last at bat off the wall. The pitch to York. York sends this one out to right field. Donlin moving over. It's like he's got a beat on it. Makes the catch. Mantilla back to first. 2 away. Clayton Kershaw trying to settle down a little here on the mound. We've got a Martin DeHigo steps up to the plate. He lined a single his last time out. Hits it, headed out to center field. Joe DiMaggio makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So here's Chuck Knobloch. Let me see what we got here. I know I've got another left-handed second baseman in here. Pretty sure. Let's see what DH. Do we want Knobloch 0.18? Bring in a pinch hitter here. Let's let Steve Evans get a little action at DH. So here's the pitch from Pete Alexander. Evans hits this one out to center. Mickey Mantle tracking it down, and he makes the catch for the first out. Ed Ryle, Negro League pickup. Not the best photo, but hey, when I was making these photos, sometimes there's just not a lot of great images with some of the lesser-known Negro League players, so did the best I could. But let's take a look at Ed Ryle's card. 318 hitter. Can play first, and he can also pitch. So we take a look at his pitching stats. Got quite a few games. He can start 25 games, so two-way player. He's playing first base today. Pete Alexander with the delivery. Ryle down to first. Rudy York looks like he's going to be able to make the play himself, and we've got 2 away. So here's Jim Ray Hart. A pitch. Hart sends this one out to left field. Baby Doll Jacobson makes the catch. That should end the inning. It does. We've played 5. 3-0 Salt Lake lead. Kershaw may be out of gas. Is that a warning? Let's take a peek. What's the EPC on Kershaw? Is 105. He may be out of gas. Let's do this. Make a mound trip. He may be out of gas. Well, we got a lefty in there with Travis, so let's take it a pitch, see what we have here. Travis sends this one out to right field. Donlin travels back, makes the catch. Uh-oh. What do we have here? An ejection? Leave him in the game to see if he can get another out or two. Look, we've got a little activity going on, and Kershaw was just launched before I could go out and replace him. So didn't like the call. Ended up walking Jacobson. Argued with the ump. Ump ejected him, and he is, oh, wait a minute. What's going on? Kershaw, I don't know if he bumped the ump or what, but he is suspended until April 13th. So look out. That may affect JT Dutch's lineup. So interesting right there. So now we're going to the bench to see who's going to come in. Salt Lake's got a bunch of righties in this lineup. So that's who we've got. Bob Lee. Ken Sanders. I think I'm going to go with Bob Lee. Bring Lee into pitch. So Bob Lee comes on in relief. The pitch to LeMahieu. It's on the ground. Crawford makes a great play, and that Gold Glove short and second base combo of Crawford and Cano turned the double play to get out of that inning. So after 5.5, still a 3-0 Salt Lake lead. So here's Gary Carter looking to get the Dutches on the board. He grounds it to Travis. Travis picks it up, throws it over to York. York makes the play. We got one away. So here's Brandon Crawford, shortstop. Singled his first time up. Sends this one foul. The pitch, 2-2 pitch. Crawford sends this one out to deep left field. Baby doll Jacobson under it, makes the catch. Got 2 down. And here is the third baseman, Denny Lyons. Lyons hits a grounder to third. Dehigo with a great play up with the throw and in time. And Pete Alexander is in prime form, is all I'm going to say. He's looking pretty good so far. So here's the Salt Lake Bees looking to add a little bit of more damage if they can, add some insurance runs. Kyler leads the inning off with a single up the middle, and he's on board. 9-rated runner. Lee can go, I can get about 75 pitches out of him if I need to. So Gibson with a slow dribbler to Lyons at third, who's going to get second and turn. Oh, they're going to turn that double play, and they do. But a great turn by Cano, and there's 2 away with Mickey Mantle stepping in. Mantle, he's 0 for 3 today. On the season, he's 0 for 6. So I would say he's due. Here's the pitch, and Mantle strikes out. He's 0 for 7 on the year. We'll let the music play. Time. Check out a couple things. Just check. Had to get me another water. Now I'm back from the garage, got some water. Hits Turkey Mike Donlin, bottom of the 7th. Trying to get something going against Alexander. Looks like with Alexander for the day, he's pitched a great game. Here's the pitch to Donlin. Donlin, left-handed batter in here, sends this one out. Kyler stepping back, long ball, but Kyler gets it on the warning.
Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up.
Joltin' Joe steps in. It's the pitch from Alexander, and he sends a single into left field, and he's aboard with his second hit of the game. So here's Robinson Cano. The Dutch looking to see if they can get some kind of rally going. Here's the pitch. Cano, grounder to LeMahieu. LeMahieu has it to Travis in time, but they won't be able to get the second. On the double play, Cano's safe at first. 2 away, and up steps Steve Evans. So learned a little something about the Federal League player based on his 1914 Federal League season in Terrapin Park. .172 OPS. Pretty good season. Here's the pitch. Evans, grounder LeMayeu's got it. Quick throw to York. Plenty of time to retire the side. So through 7, still a 3-0 game. Alexander's pitching a real gem here, so let's see if I don't jinx him. So Felix Mantilla up, DH role today, and he puts that on the ground, and he's aboard with a single. No run, no amount of lead in this league really ever feels safe with the kind of talent out here. So no doubt Salt Lake would like to add to this 3-0 lead. York grounds it down to first. Ryle steps on the bag, won't be able to get the lead runner. Mantilla takes second. 1 away for Dihigo. He's singled, 1 for 3 on the day. Dihigo grounds it. Crawford, great range, gets it. Toss to Ryle, and we have 2 out. And the shortstop, Cecil Travis, steps in. 1 for 3 on the day. He flew out in his last at bat. Here's Travis. Ooh! Walks him. Got 2 aboard for Baby Doll Jacobson. Here's the pitch. Jacobson strikes out. So Bob Lee's come in, done a really good job of keeping the score where it's at. And here we go to the bottom of the 8th. Looking to get the bats woken up. It's Ed Ryle. Hey, Sports Time Machine. You've tuned in for your lunch, and look at your. I got your manager file loaded in. So everything looks good, and as you can see, it must be working because Pete Alexander is pitching 1 gem of a game here in the bottom of the 8th. I've got the computer running Salt Lake, and I'm trying to help out JT Dutch's team here. Ed Ryle stepping in. Take a look what other options we have. I see Ryle's. Yeah, he's probably the best we got, right? We've got John McGraw on the bench. So here's Ed Ryle. Pitch from Alexander. Ryle hits this one out to opposite field. Mantl's giving chase. And man, he puts that one away. He covered a lot of ground to get over there. I guess Jacobson fell asleep. Mantle ran all the way in almost complete left field and caught that one. So 1 down. Jim Ray Hart steps in. And Hart dropped the ball for Gibson, but throws down on the drop 3rd strike, and we've got a strikeout. Here's the catcher for the Dutches, Gary Carter. Carter draws the walk. Here's Brandon Crawford, left-hander. And Alexander strikes him out. So as you can see, through 8, Alexander has been tough. Pitching a 3-hitter so far. So here's the top of the order for the Salt Lake Bees. LeMayu steps in. Lee strikes him out. Lee's done a great job here after Clayton Kershaw got ejected. Kiki Kyler sends this one out to left field. Oh, folks, this one is deep. An insurance run added on here in the top of the 9th for the Salt Lake Bees as Kiki Kyler hits a 373-foot shot into left field and admired it. So 1 away. Josh Gibson, who's homered in this game already. And Hart makes the catch in left field. So if you haven't seen it, Sports Time Machine, Gibson got his first homer of the year early and helped get this lead going. Here's Mickey Mantle. And Mantle strikes. I don't think Mantle's had a hit yet during this season, but guess what? Oh, it's Kiki. I like Kiki better. Beatles. Kai Kai. I don't know. If somebody called me Kai Kai, I think I might rather be called Kiki. I don't think Kai Kai is any better. But I may be looking at this thing all wrong. Now I've got to deprogram myself and call him Kai Kai. Oh, Denny Lyons stepping in. So let's see what we've got here as options. Lyons is a good hitter. Oh, I guess it makes sense. We could call him Kiki Keeler and Kai Kai Kyler. Um, I think it's time we see. I'm going to bring in John McGraw to pinch hit. Got to get a rally going now. Keep your fingers crossed, Sports Time Machine. Don't want to jinx Alexander. He's pitched great. Here's the pitch to John McGraw. John McGraw sends this out to center. Mantle made several putouts out there. Gets over there and makes the catch. We got one away. Here's Turkey Mike Donlin. Grounder up the middle. Ooh, LeMahieu with a quick play.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up.
Looks like we had an error on that play. LeMahieu made a great throw. Well, he didn't make a great throw. Throw was wide at first. Donlin safe on the E4. Here's Joe D. And Joe DiMaggio strikes out. So we got Robinson Cano. 232. Got a guy like Aaron Judge sitting on the bench. Pete Alexander, 2 out. The pitch to Cano. Cano sends this one into right field. Donlin, got a poor play in the outfield. Donlin is going to score. Cano is into second, and the shutout is not to be, as we now have a 4-1 game. Evans with a 22% chance. Okay, yeah, he's the best hit option we got to keep this going. That's some nice right-handed power to have on the bench with Pedro Guerrero and Aaron Judge. Here's the pitch to Evans. Evans sends this one out to center. Looks like an easy play for Mantle, and he makes the grab. And guess what? They got on the board, but they just couldn't deal with Pete Alexander today. I mean, he faced some tough hitters and pitched a great game. So take a look at batting first here. Alexander gets the win here, but look at Kai Kai goes 3 for 5, home run. Gibson 2 for 5, home run, and Felix Mantilla 3 for 4 in the DH slot. So some good hitting there. Over here on the other side, only 4 hits on the day. DiMaggio got 2 of them. Not much to really brag about when it comes to hitting, but if we look at the pitching, that's the tale of the game. Be interesting to see who the computer awards the MVP to. Could it be Pete Alexander? I mean, Kyler had a great game, but we'll take a peek. Yeah, these lefties. Yeah, Sports Time Machine. I mean, tore him up. Kershaw was pitching okay, but then it said he was tired, and I left him in one pitch, and then he got into a pissing match with the ump, and the ump launched it. He must have did something to the ump because he's suspended for like 6 days now. So not only did he get ejected, he's got suspension. Take a look at miscellaneous. Oh yes, MVP. They're going to award to Pete Alexander. He pitched a great game. Throw a little recap on here. Again, I think there's 4 of us hanging out here today, but just having a blast with playing the games with this league, and it's been fun. It has been fun. So let's take a look at where we're at now. So as you can see, we've just got 1 game less for today, which is April 7th. And the only one left to play is this one right here, which is I'll have Koufax going against Todd's Verlander. That should be a fun one. Let's take a look. We've got 2 games in the books. Who's leading the way with batting? Oh my gosh, look at Mudville. They've got Honus Wagner after 2 games batting .778. We've already got all-star votes coming in. Interesting, right? No hesitation. We've already stuffed in the ballots there, and we can see some of the players that are playing really well. I know saw Lou Whitaker earlier. The Trammell Whitaker team is batting over 350, and they made a great double play in an earlier game today that was outstanding. What else we have, Bonds? Let's take a look at the league injuries. Let's look at the injury history. We can see we've only had two. JT Dutch lost Carter for just one day, and Cleveland had Sal Bando temporarily hurt during the earlier game today. See if there's anything else that we have. Highlight package. I'm just taking a look. I thought, man, what can we see if somebody's ejected? But let's go back and take a look at JT Dutch's team. His pitchers. Oh, there we go. Suspension till 4/13. A suspended player. Always nice. So yeah, having fun with this league. It's been fun to play some of these games. Yeah, he just sprained an ankle. He'll be all right. He was back in the saddle today. So far we've got some. I don't. Here's what's interesting. I have not seen a 1-1 team yet. So far every team that's already played each other and won beat them again. Tomorrow, take a look at what we've got coming up. We got one game to play tonight for 4-7. And then tomorrow we're going to get some teams that we haven't seen since yesterday. We got, I think, yeah, a lot of people in action tomorrow. Interesting. Look what we have tomorrow on April 8th. We have a Friday night double header. This is the first time we've seen this in the league. So there are double headers because this follows the regular 1973 National League season. So one thing to be aware of here is as we go in, pay attention to this right here, meaning, oh, we have two double headers tomorrow. So make sure when we play it that we play the first game first and then move on to the second game of that day. But look at tomorrow on a Friday night. Ocean State and Sarnia get to play two. Arlington and Manchester play two. On Saturday the 9th, just three games. Kind of interesting to see how this follows a typical major league schedule. Sunday, three games. All night games. Monday, we've got four. See when the next doubleheader, so you can kind of see how this goes. All teams in action on Tuesday night. Ooh, this will be good. Next week in the 13th, we've got Manchester coming into Detroit. Could be a good grudge match against MV. Some other games here. Let's see if we get to the next weekend. We might see some Saturday, Sunday. Here's a doubleheader. Friday night doubleheader. Arlington and Cleveland will get two in, and JT Dutch and Salt Lake will be playing against each other, and they'll be flipping it because we've got Salt Lake at JT Dutch this week, and it looks like we'll get a series next week where they will be home. So interesting that we have some of these matchups, which could make it interesting for how we set up some of these lineups. Um, to rest a catcher, and do that because we do have realistic resting on for this league as well. So anyway, let's take a look at that. And Aaron asked what the suspension was for. Aaron, Kershaw didn't like a called ball and went down and he got into it with the umpire and it was so bad that he was tossed and suspended. So I don't know if he bumped him or did something. So let's take a look at a team that's played 2 games like Lexington. Let's pull Aaron's team up, and you can see when we go to look at their catcher, what we got here. Their catchers, he's caught 0 in a row. So you'll see here, based on their durability rating, how many games they can catch in a row before they have to take a day off. Who's your other catcher here on this team? Pop Shriver's on the back. Okay, Jason Kendall. Okay, he can catch 11 in a row before he would need a rest. So that's pretty much all set based on their durability and how many games they actually caught on the regular season in real life. Hey, MV. Let's take a look at MV. MV might run into some trouble. Let's take a look at MV's team. Because with the realistic resting, let's take a look right here. Got Johnny Bassler. Only played 66 games. So if we look at Bassler, if he comes up, I'm clicking on him. Here he is. Because he's only played 63 games at catcher, he can only catch 5 in a row before he's going to show tired and need a day off. Rafael Almeida can catch 4 in a row because he only caught 27 games that year. And Bill Pettis can only catch 3 in a row because he's can only caught 6. So that'll be something for MV to watch, is making sure he's rotating that so that he's not playing players tired and they're getting the proper rest. One thing we should talk about is I noticed here with JT Dutch, let's look at this. If I go to first base, he's got Gary Carter, but he's got Ed Ryle that can play first. So if we look at Ed Ryle, okay, well, he's got 70 games there. Which team was it earlier that I was looking at? Oh, it might be PQ Ribber. Oh, no, it's Aaron. I just want to call this out for Aaron and the Lexington Legends. Let's look at this. So for first baseman, we got to talk about what kind of penalties we've got here, right? So we've got Paul Molitor that could play first base. You know, he's got some ratings there. But pretty much the best first baseman option, other than a pitcher playing it or a backup or a catcher, is Buck Jordan. But if we look, he's only got 212 at bats on the year. So as a league, we ought to kind of figure out under rules, do we want to prevent somebody that was, less than a halftime player from being able to play without any kind of penalty, right? So if we go to usage, we can come over here and decide, as this league moves on, do we want to have some type of penalty for somebody that has so many at bats, right? We could exempt people. We could say, okay, anybody that's batted over, 400 times, they don't get any penalty. But if somebody's overusing a player that like only batted 200 times and they're going to bat him 500, do we want to come over here and put a reduction penalty? I'm just saying, what do you think should be, if you have at least a certain number, no penalties apply? We could do that. Or we could say, if you just go over like 110%, we could reduce hits and we could give it a 10% penalty. Over 120%, 20% penalty. We could have something like that in play. That's something for us to figure out here since we're still early. Maybe we can, I do agree there should be some penalty, and that's one I've seen used frequently. There's also, if you want to exempt people, hey, if you've pitched, so many innings or got at least this many at bats, if you had 450 at bats, do we really care if you get 550? There's pretty good sample size. The main thing I think would be for those players that are, under 300 at bats and not wanting that to be taken advantage of. So, food for thought. Maybe we can discuss that some more and figure out how we want to approach it. So right now, I'm going to keep mine at this. We're going to reduce their effectiveness by 10% once they go 10% over their stuff. Um, Here's what I'm thinking. Let's do this. I can give anybody, since I have updated some of the logos and the team names and all this, I don't know if anybody would like a clean file here that has all the games played right now. I mean, we can move them around with the box score, which I'll do. Let me export the game I just played. Of course, if you're ever stuck, you could always export them all, and then whoever imports them will just get notified that, it's already there. Oh, good, because I've got mics on mine, MV. So here's what I'll do. Let me just do this then. I'll just zip a file. But remember, um, when you create or reinstall it, you would just have, it's going to create whatever name you install it as. It's going to create that subfolder for pictures. So if you want the pictures to show, you just need to go into your player photos right here. So where's my little goodies here? Just as a reminder for everybody, DK Sports Data, baseball, go to your player photos and you'll see that I've been using this subfolder because this is what my league name is. So if I send you a file and it's got a date on it, you'll have to go and copy the players that sit in there and just recopy them over to whatever new folder was created based on the name that you installed. So a pretty easy tip. I would just say once you create it, come right in here to your player photos. I know mine's sitting in Howie Shanks, so I could just copy all those and then just repaste them if there's a new league folder. So MV says, shut up, Steve. I may live in West Virginia, but I already got it. So here we go. All those box scores, yep, we're going to include them all. And I'm going to call this Shanks Bingo Draft League 41323. I'm going to drop it into my folder, zip it real good. Okay, we got it. Now I'm going to pop this up for our Discord. Let's put it under Bingo League. I think I was doing it here. I'm gonna start putting it under our team rosters, right? Let's upload that. Is it in here? I think I just called this one Shanks 413 right here. And there we go. So there's a new file um, with managers up to speed. And it also has the penalties on there just till we come up with different ones. It's got that if anybody goes over 110%, they get a 10% hit. If they go over 120, a 20% hit. But I think we've got a ways before people will be there. So there we go. Have fun, MV, Beatles. I'm going to run now. Got to head back and do some work where I'm compensated, but had fun. I mean, these have been fun games to do. I've enjoyed playing some of these other teams that aren't mine because I'm now getting to be acquainted with some of these players and how they perform, and interested to kind of watch us monitor this league as we go forward and kind of track the leaders and all that good. But let's take a look. After 2 games, Big Clue and the Jersey Blue Crabs. I almost called them the Jersey Blue Balls the other day when I was typing in. I thought I got to go back and read. I think he wanted crabs. I had to double check, so I got it in there right. Take a look at Jersey Blue Crabs. 342. So he's off to by far the best batting team so far. Salt Lake right behind, close to 300. So small sample size, but fun to track as we go. So have a good afternoon. It's afternoon for me, everybody. Hopefully somebody will be broadcasting tonight. I may have to be, while I'm spending quality time with my wife, sneaking like I was last night with no audio, kind of monitoring that game to see what was going on, but definitely tune in if I can. So see you down the road.